Like, they could all be
Grand
poets or
Cipher and I,
something.
We'd gone through thick and thin together. It's a long story, but it all started on that fateful day I met the captain. I haven't looked back since. Right then, landing maintenance. Fuel stores, full. Engine, all clear. We were ready to disembark into the
I
unknown.
like how they give you bonuses
What
to
awaited
watching
us
these,
in the
because it
Zega
kind
Grande
of,
Skydom?
like, they put so much
As uneasy as
effort
I
into the
was,
story and
I couldn't
whatnot.
help but feel a teensy bit giddy with excitement.
And, like, to give you something worth your time, because some people might not like the story, even if they don't actually watch it, you know, having it go. Rackham pilots the Grand Cipher out of the stormy Grim Basin and into the blue skies of Zega Grande. Cheers erupt from the deck, heralding excitement for new adventures. They can't wait to make landfall. Fantasy versus reality.
Ah, the Grand Cipher. Ever since I found her abandoned behind a cliff, it was love at first sight. I was just a kid, but I had lofty dreams of repairing that ramshackle airship and taking her to the skies. Back then, I didn't know the difference between a porthole and port side, but I was determined. I dove into books bigger than my head, and I learned basic airship repair, helmsmanship, the whole kit and caboodle. After a ton of elbow grease, the day had come. The Grand Cipher was finally ready for a test flight. I still remember how my hands trembled as I grabbed the rudder. And wouldn't you know it, she actually lifted off the ground for me. Nothing quite like watching your first love take to the skies, is there? But before I could take it all in, my dreams came crashing down. I mean, literally, the Grand Cipher sunk like a damn meteor. 100 different things could have caused it, but that didn't matter. Years of work went kaput in the blink of an eye. Betrayed by the very skies I longed for, I was crushed. Looking back now, it sounds stupid, I know, but it really felt like I had nothing to live for. I put all my hopes into that hunk of scrap. Laugh if you want, but some pits are too deep to crawl out of, especially when you look up for freedom and all you see is the expansive crystal blue of your tormentor.
Jesus,
Don't
fuck.
worry, my pity party wouldn't last for too much longer. You see, my dreams had crashed like a meteor.
But ironically enough, it was the meteoric rise of the Erste Empire that would bring the captain into my life. Salvation was on the horizon.
Huh. Okay. Back at the wheel. Many years ago, young Rackham found the Grand Cipher abandoned near some cliffs. He fell in love with the neglected airship and spent years fixing her up. When he finally got her into the air, she crashed, taking his dreams down with her. After that mishap, he became disillusioned and quit flying altogether. And no kidding, rough. It's a recap of the last episode, I think. That way when you come back to these,
Just as I'd given up on flying, the Erste Empire had arrived in Port Breeze, and they were hell-bent on exploiting our local protector, the primal beast of wind, Tiamat.
Their twisted machinations
Primal Beast's
caused her
gotta
to
be
go on
like
a
summons
rampage.
or something like that.
Port Breeze was in peril. Fortunately, we had an ace up our sleeve, Lyria. Thing is, Lyria needed to get close to Tiamat, which meant we had to go up, and to go up, we needed to fly. Thought I'd already closed that chapter of my life when the skies betrayed me, but lives were on the line. Quick, get on the Grand Cipher! I don't know what got into me. She fell once before. Hell, I knew she might fall again. Nothing like a healthy fear of death to keep you grounded, eh? But the people of Port Breeze and my new crewmates had entrusted their fates to my piloting skills. My own fear was insignificant. All I needed to do was trust myself too.
Okay.
It's a damn shame it took me this long. But I'm back now, and ready to face the skies if you'll have me. As the Grand Cipher's engine purred to life, I knew I would no longer be encumbered by fear. I gripped the mast with pride as I set our course directly above, to the rampaging Tiamat. Lyria quelled the primal beast, and catastrophe had been averted. Not to mention, I could finally dream again. Ever since that day, I've been the helmsman for the Grand Cipher and its crew.
Nice.
It's been one hell of a ride. I've since formed a pact with good old Tiamat and made amends with the shipwright Primal who built the Grand Cipher, Noah.
Oh.
So, Zega Grande Skydom might be uncharted territory, but my role remains the same: to see our crew arrive safely, no matter the destination. And that includes Estalucia. Some folks might call reaching the end of the skies an impossible dream, but I ain't too worried. With the Grand Cipher as our wings, anything's possible.
Nice. Making a pact with Tiamat's kind of cool, or whatever he said. Okay, the mage now. View this fate episode? Yes.
If I hadn't met Master Zaka on that fateful day, if he hadn't saved me, there's no way I'd be where I am now. I'm from the Vaults Duchy, where the weather's sweltering all year long, thanks to a river of lava that flows through the island.
Oh, jeez.
My hometown might not have been the most scenic place, but as long as I had Master Zaka with me, I was happy. After traveling for so long, I can finally say that with pride. Before I left on my journey, I was completely clueless. When my master went missing, I just ran around like a chicken with its head cut off. I was looking for something, anything that would help me find him, and that's when I met the crew. The reason behind his disappearance turned out to be even worse than I could have imagined. The Earthstate Empire had driven him out of his mind. They had manipulated him into awakening the primal beast that had lain dormant beneath the ground, Colossus.
Oh, jeez.
Fortunately, I was able to break through to him, thwarting the Empire's attempt to exploit Colossus's powers for conquest.
Sounds like the Empire's not great
I
here.
learned that they were doing all sorts of horrible things, even to their own people, in order to achieve their goals. My master was a kind person who never hesitated to help those in need. I
Nice.
resented the Empire for making him suffer. And I couldn't just sit around when there was work to be done. That's why I decided to join the crew. To stick it to those Empire jerks and give their victims something to smile about.
Nice. Vaults Duchy is an island of intense heat that Io calls home. When her master goes missing, she teams up with the crew to find him. The search isn't easy, but they eventually locate and rescue him from his madness. She learns that the Earthstate Empire played a part in his disappearance and decides to join the crew to get revenge on the Imperials. Oh, revenge is what drives her. Okay, cool.
A few years before I met the crew, I lost my parents to an epidemic. I mourned their deaths for who knows how long. I could barely even bring myself to face reality each morning. With no living relatives in vaults, I was like a ship adrift at sea. I had nowhere to go and nowhere to belong. Until one day, my master reached out his hand to me. I was so depressed I just kept staring at the ground. But that gentle smile never left his face as he asked me, "Why do you look so sad?" There was something in his voice that made me look up. When I did, a beautiful bouquet of flowers appeared in his hand, seemingly out of thin air. I had no idea how he'd done it, but I knew it must have been some kind of parlor trick. But he insisted it was magic. What a goofball, right? Saying that when he can use real magic.
That is pretty funny. Well, ironically,
It was just
using
the
magic.
magic I needed at that moment. Beautiful and kind. He went on to show me all kinds of incredible spells, the likes of which I'd never seen before. Watching him made me smile at a time when I thought I'd forgotten how. My master would always say that magic exists to make people happy.
She doesn't actually say the name of her master,
Something
which is
about
weird.
that spoke to
I wonder
me.
if we're gonna
It
meet him
made
or
me want to
something.
become a
Or her.
mage just like him.
I think it's him. Yeah, him.
So I signed myself up as his disciple, begging him to teach me magic. I'll never forget how happy I was when he told me I had talent. After all, if he was right, that meant I had the potential to make people smile too.
Nice. It's a fair bit of damage. HP. I think it's the same for every episode. Yeah, that's cool. Io was orphaned 3 years ago when her parents passed away from an epidemic. It was, I forget how they said that, Zarka the Great. It was Zarka the Great, the Archduke of Valt's Duchy, who took her in and taught her that magic exists to make people happy. From that day forth, she trains as a mage under his tutelage. Yeah, I guess is Zarka the Great. Okay, that's the master. I heard that part, but I guess I wasn't listening. What a cool staff. Whoa.
One day, shortly after I joined the crew, I suddenly lost the ability to use magic.
Whoa.
No matter how many times I tried casting a spell, nothing happened. I had no clue what to do. The rest of the crew thought Master Zaka might have the answers I needed, so we set sail for Vault.
Zaka.
It'd been forever since I'd been back home. My master was thrilled to see how much I'd grown. I opened my mouth to ask him about my problem, but when I saw how happy he looked, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I'd promised him that I'd come back as a great mage, but there I was, unable to cast even a single spell.
Oh, jeez.
The last thing I wanted was for him to be disappointed in me. Around that time, an epidemic returned to Vaults, the same disease that had claimed the lives of my parents.
Oh.
Wanting to keep it from spreading any further, my master headed to the clinic to speak with the people who'd been infected. But he ended up getting sick too.
Oh, wow.
The source of the epidemic turned out to be an evil spirit that revealed itself to us right there in the clinic. I immediately confronted it. That rotten creature had already taken my parents from me. I wasn't gonna let it take anyone else. Determined to make it pay, I raised my staff, but nothing happened.
Oh, jeez.
I'll never forget how it felt to watch, helplessly, as my parents' killer got away. The crew gave chase, but I continued to stand where I was. Without my magic, I didn't see the point. I'd just end up getting in the way.
Oh my gosh,
All I
that's
could do
awful.
was watch as my master suffered, withering away. Nothing had changed since the last time. But you know, it wasn't all bad. In search of a solution to my magic loss at the local library, I happened to come across a beautiful golden staff, one left to me by my mother. That's when Master Zaka revealed that my mother had been a mage too.
What?
On the verge of tears, I clenched my staff tightly in
I'm
frustration.
not gonna lie, this story got me kind
My
of crying a
beloved
little
home
bit.
and
It's
master
kind of
were being
crazy.
threatened by a disease-spreading spirit, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Just as I began feeling completely hopeless, the staff began to glow. Somehow I could feel it encouraging me, empowering me. So what if I couldn't use magic? Surely there were other ways to help everyone. Unable to stand around doing nothing any longer, I ran off to find the crew. When I finally tracked them down, they'd already been rendered powerless by the disease. That left me as the only person who could fight. There wasn't a second to lose.
Oh, wow.
It was that moment when I decided I was done running away. I'd promised myself a long time ago that I was going to use my magic to make people happy. Filled with newfound resolve, I heard a voice coming from the staff. Mom? Is that you? The voice told me to visualize the power flowing through me. As I did, I could feel magic welling up inside me, flooding out from deep within.
You know what's crazy is
With my
I
mom's
kind of
help,
want to play this
I
character
was able
now,
to defeat the
just
evil
because of the
spirit.
story. Like this, that's
as
so
soon
cool.
as it was gone, I erupted from my staff.